Hey, and we're back, baby. Absolutely show. Are we back? Absolutely. Could have done a lot of different words up there and used Lee as the suffix, but hey, we went with absolute, and that's what we're sticking with, baby. Absolutely show. We're back. We're in the saddle. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a little different. I had to do something yesterday that I have never really kind of like faced that it was a reality for me yet. I was shaving like I normally do and giving myself a haircut, and I had to shave my shoulders. So that was a tough, sobering moment to start the day with, but hey, that's fine. You're getting hairier in every place besides where you don't want to be getting less hairier. Very bald, and the rest of my body is fully covered with a pelt. The irony of that. It is okay. Apparently, bald. If you're bald, it means that it's a sign of high testosterone, which I just love. It just totally sounds like something that a bald doctor came up with. Be like, oh yeah, I'm bald. My testosterone's too high. I can't have hair anymore just because I make so much money and girls like me so much. They're coming out with a lot of really hot stuff over there at Bald Doctor University. But yeah, just back in the saddle. Had a really killer week, man. Got to do shows at the lab, and they were fun. They were hot. It was hot shows, man. Very cool. It's a weird thing. I've done a lot of comedy shows, so obviously some better than others. And but when it's a show where it's like a showcase or whatever the layout is, and everyone just goes up there and rips, like from host to closer. Everyone smokes and the audience is that good. It's so it feels special. I don't understand how it could ever work out. Not like to be too inside baseball here or whatever, but like it's a weird thing. When an audience is good, you're like, what are the odds that everybody in here walked in is going to suspend their belief enough to just kind of sit in the room, not be self-conscious and about laughing or anything. Like, because so much goes into play. If you go to the club and you had a really bad day, like your boss was mad at you or your partner was mad at you or who even knows, your kids kept messing up and wouldn't get out of your hair, then you show up, you're already in a bad mood. Maybe that makes you more likely to like want to be in a good mood, but most people it takes some convincing. So when it's a room where everybody is just locked in and it wants it to be good, it just seems like a statistical anomaly. And we got like 3 or 4 of them this weekend, so it was sweet. And I don't know, I think the better feeling as a comic is it's a bad room and then you make it good, you force it to be good, but I don't know. It's also really fun when it's just, line them up, knock them down, dude. It's good. So feeling pretty good about that. Worked out some stuff. Worked out a joke that I kind of worked out here on the podcast, so maybe that'll be kind of like another little aspect of this place. So feeling pretty good, rolling in. This is my first glassesless episode. So I feel a little bit naked. It's very, very bright in here. Look into my pearly blues. Yeah, hopefully, I don't know what, hopefully you like it. Hopefully you don't. I don't really care. I really just left them in my car on accident. But what are you going to do, man? Welcome to the glassless episode. That's what it is. Rocking my UK hoodie, dude. UK is back. I know that's kind of niche, but, I'd imagine a lot of my people that are listening to this also like the Cats. It's very nice. The Cats are back. Watched them beat Florida. Kind of sent me back to the college days. Dude, do you ever get, like, anxiety after the fact? Like, looking back on eras of your life and thinking about it, and then you get anxious because of that? Like, not what's to come or what is happening, but what you got away with. Dude, when I was a Kentucky basketball fan in college, I should have gotten in so much trouble. I could have, like, really fully derailed my life in 2012. Like, when we won the national championship, man, if I had gotten caught doing some of the things that I did, like, it would for sure still be affecting me now. I had so much anxiety after that Kentucky-Florida game yesterday. It was freaking me out. Like in 2012, when we won the national championship, when we went to the Final Four, I was part of a mob that took over a Speedway gas station. People just ran in. I took I took like a 12-pack of Bud Light glass bottles, went into the beer cave, and just put them all over my body. I put like 2 in each pocket, 1 in the back pocket, 1 in the hoodie pocket, 2 in each hand, and then you just run out. Dude, I fell. And glass broke, and I was like bleeding and just hammered. And stealing. Stealing's bad. And I just didn't get caught. But if I had gotten caught doing that night, I mean, that would still be on my record. And then I just like wipe all the blood and beer and glass off of me, check my flip phone. My girlfriend at the time, she was at her sorority house, so me and my buddy walked there, and God, this is such a bad story. We go up there on the porch of the Delta Gamma house at University of Kentucky, and I think the statute of limitations is up on this. And it was fun at first. It was good. We were boys and girls. We were all up there on the porch, hollering, having a couple drinks, celebrating. We're going to the national championship. And then the house mom comes out and like shoos everybody away. Well, me and my buddy Drew, shout out Drew, we just panicked because we were still waiting on our girls to get back there. So instead of leaving, we just went into the house, which is allowed. We've been in the house before, but we were in the house after the house mom told us to shoo. And then she's coming in and she's all mean and she's doing a sweep and we don't want to leave yet. So we're like crouching behind this couch, fully hiding behind this couch in what's called the pretty room. And we were in there for a long time because we didn't want to get caught. And in the intermediate time, I really, really had to go to the bathroom. Really, really had to pee. And, I started peeing my pants a little bit, then I cut it off. Then I reached up, took a vase that was on one of the tables, filled with kind of like the Mancala beads. You know what I'm talking about? Like it is an ornate, pretty vase. And I peed in it, man. I peed in it. Then I put it on the table and everything was fine, except when we had to leave, I stood up and I knocked the table. And then it knocked over. And it broke. And it's like, if I had gotten caught doing that, I would have gotten kicked out of school. I should have, dude. It freaks me out. I'm glad I got out unscathed, man. Because now the behavior's good. Now I'm a sweet boy. I don't know. I try to be. I try not to mess up too much. Not anymore. I got way too lucky getting away with it, dude. But I've been out in the world last couple days. Been doing some eavesdropping, trying to just pick people's brains without them knowing I'm picking it. And I have some thoughts. Okay. I was getting ready for a show a couple days ago, and I was sitting out on the patio of this venue, just going through my notebook. I was the only one out there. And then there were 3 women out there, 3 young women. And they were talking in such graphic detail about one of the young women the night before had taken a lover. And they were, man, it was every guy in the world's worst nightmare was happening to this guy. Tony, if you're out there, I'm sorry, man. You thought you had a really good night. You didn't. They were talking about how big he was, if he was good at it, how long he lasted. Okay, not to get crass, she was talking about how much of it. I'm like, do you got a beaker? What are you talking about? I couldn't believe it. Talking about good kisser, how much tongue he used. I guess here's my point, is it's like there is this idea that men are dogs. And sure, men are dogs for sure. We've got some dog-like tendencies. But women kiss and tell. The girls are the ones that talk about their sexual exploits. Guys don't really. Like, it chills me to my core that My fiance, like all of her friends, who are also my friends, know like the shape of my penis. That is so crazy to me. Like that guys have the reputation for being the dogs. Because if a guy walked up to me and asked me anything like remotely sexual about my fiance, I would like punch him in the face. You know, that's crazy to me. Guys don't do that. I don't kiss and tell. Maybe it's like a super young man the first time you kiss somebody or something, you're over there and talking about it. But like, I have never been inclined, and no one that I've ever hung out with has been inclined to do that. Like that would be a red flag to me. It's crazy. And I think, not to pander here, overall, I would say if you got to pick one of the two genders, hot take, ladies are the, damn, it's crazy that, like, even after all the discourse the last couple of years, like, that is just in my brain. Sorry about the 30 years of, like, practical science. But women are, like, the softer, more caring, the more capacity to love, I think, probably. But in that one scenario, it's very weird. And I think maybe they talk about, all their sexual exploits with each other as like kind of like a safety means, because Lord knows that, like, the dynamic from man to woman versus woman to man, it is a little skewed as far as physicality and stuff. So I understand why they talk about it, kind of take the power back a little bit. But it really did blow my mind to hear these little girls out just dogging this guy. I don't know. It was a wild one, but I don't know. They're way better in a lot of senses too. Obviously, my fiance gave her best friend a Christmas present. And she opened it up in front of me, and then her best friend takes it out of the box, and it's a lamp, this cute little lamp. And then my fiance starts crying, and she goes, "That is you if you were a lamp." And then they both just started crying and gave each other a hug, and I was like, God, the female mind, that is a beautiful thing. This is you if it was a lamp. And she was right. It was the lamp version of this young woman. She nailed it. I don't even know what size shirt my best friend wears. I'm pretty sure it's an XL. I think he's lost some weight, but I don't know. He looks good. It's just a whole different thing. My fiance the other day asked me what color chose me. I was like, do you mean what my favorite color is? Like, what's my favorite color? And she was like, no, like, what color chose you? I'm like, God, I love how you think. You're so sweet. You're so much nicer than me. My favorite color has just been blue for as long as I can remember. I don't really know what color chose me. I guess I've never really thought of it. That's why having a lady in your life rocks, dude. It's good. I got a skincare routine now. I got to think about like what color chose me. It's a beautiful thing. It truly is a beautiful thing, man. Yeah. Oh, what? That's another thing that I overheard. Maybe that'll be a segment on here. Lee eavesdrops or something. But I was walking around downtown. I've been hitting the pavement in a serious way, just trying to get those steps in, man. I think I talked about it last episode, dude. The gym is the gym. I'm gonna go a couple times a week, move some heavy stuff around. But like 34 years into the game, the boy knows himself, man. I'm a leisurely walk guy. Okay. Let's get that heart rate up about 10 beats higher than it normally would be. Let's sustain it for about a half hour, and let's go on a walk. That's what I'm doing. So walks forever. I was on a walk, and I went downtown just to kind of take in the new city. Oh, is it raining? Oh, baby boy. How nice is that? That's pretty cool. Aiden on the ones and twos back there trying to make the rain go away. But I was walking downtown, and what passes by but one of those big old pedal wagons. And Nashville, Tennessee might be the pedal wagon capital of the entire world. Like, Cincinnati has them, Lexington has them, and they're pretty standard. They're just, they're fairly standard, The little thing with 12 little pedals that you go, and it's covered, and there's music, and it's a lot of fun. But Nashville's got them like, hot tubs. I mean, I saw one that was just like, it was a car on top of another car, and then you just got in the car that was on top of the car. They've got pools on the go. And here's what I heard. I heard people talking smack on them. And I know that is like the most popular take, is to talk smack on the pedal wagons. And on some level, I do understand that. But my take is that they rock. I think it's hilarious that they back up traffic. I like the kind of people that embrace the pedal wagon. And everyone kind of like rolls their eyes and they're like, oh my God, they're so corny. The people that do pedal wagons are so corny. And guess what? They are, and that's why they rock. Because, dude, at least they're not embarrassed. Like the cool people sitting there making fun of the pedal wagon, you know what's not cool? Worrying what other people think about you. Or like, or I don't know, the people that get on the pedal wagon, it's like, yeah, it's a little corny, sure. But like, what else should they do? At least they're not embarrassed. I like that. Dude, it's a car made out of bikes. It sounds like something I invented when I was 12 years old. It rules. Like, have a little bit of whimsy, dude. A car made out of bikes? That rocks. It's like if you were 10 years old, you're like, I don't know, man. It's like a cake made out of hot dogs. You just combine two great things. I love a pedal wagon, man. I think people need to get off of the pedal wagon's backs, dude. And it's like, yeah, they're so corny. It's like if you see one, that's what these people are saying. They're going to say, oh my God, gentrification on wheels. It's like, hey, lady, you're here too. You are also in this neighborhood. At least they're having a fun time with it, man. And in theory, getting a little exercise in, I don't know. But either way, I don't really like haters. And I know it's like, you can't really, and no one gets out unscathed, dude. I'm just being a hater of the haters. But if a pedal wagon goes by and you roll your eyes and make fun of them, you're the loser. That's my take. The people on there who are just like having fun. Dude, do you know how hard you would have to try if you got on one of those pedal wagons? Do you know how hard you'd have to try to not have fun? You know how hard you'd have to try to not smile? You get on a pedal wagon with 10 of your other friends and you're looking at your boy and you're like, God, I can't believe that, we managed to get 10 of our friends together, huh? And they just play whatever music we want and we're allowed to drink. This sucks. It's like, no, that's not how it goes. You'd get on and it would rock. Yeah, so I want to do one. I want to do a pedal wagon with me and all my boys. I mean, honestly, no girls allowed, just boys, dude. Just hollering, just having a good time, kicking our little feet in the air, man. That sounds like a damn blast. My grandfather would roll over in his grave if he heard me say that, but he is the man. He got a little softer, like, later in his life, but he was a hard-o, man. My pop. He did. He was a hard man. He softened up a little bit at the end, but dude, it was like this perfect little thing to get raised by, because he had a big old hand in taking care of me or whatever. He's just such a weird dude. We were down at our farm one time building something because it was like the great pleasure of my life is that my Nana would just find something. She would find a picture in like a home and garden magazine or some shit, and she would point to it, and then with no experience at all, we would just try to build it, whether it was like a little dove coat or a little garden or whatever it is. We would try to build it, and we were building this little thing, like a little gazebo, and my grandfather, my pop, was up on a ladder. He was like 73 at the time, and was hammering something, and then just cracked himself in the forehead with a claw of the hammer. Cracked himself in the forehead with a claw of a hammer, staggered down the ladder. I mean, damn near killed him. I'm about to, like, get in my car and drive him into town without a driver's license. I was a young kid. And then he goes into the house, walks out. He had this huge wound on his head that he had duct taped together, or super glued together, and then put a piece of duct tape on it. And then just went back to work. So that was that's kind of who he was. Dude, this is going to sound not real, but he performed his own vasectomy. He literally did. He was an ear, nose, and throat surgeon. So he like put tubes in people's ears and took tonsils out and shit. And he told me this story, dude. My Nana got pregnant with my Aunt Sally, their fourth kid. It was a little bit of a surprise. And then he called up his buddy and was like, hey, I need a vasectomy. And he was like, all right, doc, we'll get you scheduled for a vasectomy. And he was like, no, tonight. So they went out to Malibu Pub. They had a couple drinks. Then they went over to the office, and my pop numbed up his damn balls, okay? But he was awake, general anesthesia. He was awake, but down there he was asleep. And then he assisted in his own vasectomy, dude. God. Oh my God, that is just a insanely horrific tale. But that's the guy who helped raise me, dude. He was so funny. He would hit me and my brother up. He'd be like, dude, invite a couple of your friends. We're gonna go down to the farm and have a party. And we're like, hell yeah, dude, Pop's getting cool, man. We're gonna have a party. And we'd get down to the farm and he'd be like, all right, stick party. And then we would just have to pick up sticks the entire day. 8 hours. Just walk around, picking up sticks in the woods, cleaning up the woods. It's so crazy. There would be days where our job was to just like, he would put us to work doing something that didn't even make sense. He'd be like, all right, that rock pile over there, I want that rock pile to be a rock pile over there. And you just spend all day just picking up rocks and doing that. Man, I do. I miss him. He was a special dude. Different kind of guy. Last thing he ever said to me was a street joke. It's crazy. He was like, out of it, gone, and then I walk in and he kind of perks up. Literally, last thing he ever said to me, he's like, "Hey, so there's this old couple. They're really old, and they wanted to spice up their love life a little bit. So, lady walks in and goes, honey, to the husband, honey, not to be crass, we've never done this, but I kind of want you to shave me down there." So he's like, okay, sure. So he's down there. And he's shaving her, and then he looks up at his wife and he goes, hey, honey, give me one of these. And then, I'm not exaggerating, he died like 6 hours later. The last thing he ever said to me was a street joke that he somehow had managed to never tell me before. It was a special thing, man. I don't know. God, I miss him. He's definitely in heaven or whatever it is. I think it's heaven. You know what I was thinking about this the other day. I think it's good. I don't think it's lights out. I can't believe that. I don't think it's necessarily like, you go up and you're like the translucent version of yourself. I don't know what it is. I am optimistic about it, but I do think it would be so sick if when you got up to heaven, you got all of your statistics. Like if you like got up to heaven and then you just went and you sat in a room or whatever and you got all of your stats. Like everything that you ever did down there, like books read. How many books did you read? That would be a hard number. That would be sad. That would be hard. Beers drinking. I've definitely drank more beers than I read books. But in my defense, it's hard to read 12 books in a night. But it's pretty easy to do that with a beer, man. I don't know. How many hours total did you cry? Dude, decibel level, what's the hardest you ever laughed? How many times did you pet a dog? How many hours did you spend kissing? How many hours did you spend hugging? How many different hands did you hold? How many different high fives did you give? That would be so fun. Get an instant replay of like all the hits. Instant replay of like, I don't know, you hitting a home run in Little League or whatever, or graduating, stuff that you don't even remember. I would love to get all my stats, dude. Someone's up there just head heaven statistician, dude. That would be so sick. It would be sobering. It would hurt your feelings a little bit, but you'd be dead, so who would care? You'd be like, all right, next time, man. Next time, baby. And if it ain't that, then if it's reincarnation, then I don't know. I think I'll go human again, man, for real. Maybe a hawk. I don't know. Dolphin would be pretty cool. It'd be pretty cool to fly, but definitely human again, man. Being a human rules. I love it. Funny stuff happens, bad stuff happens, good stuff happens. Probably the funniest thing that I've ever heard, a buddy of mine, shout out, friend of the pod, friend of the Zanes, Taylor. Taylor was telling me this story about his high school days. And high school ruled because everyone's just like a monster. Everyone's a complete hormone monster. Even the good kids are complete monsters. I mean, the thought of some of the stuff that we did in high school is a nightmare. In my high school, for a long time, freshman through junior year, all the condiments in the cafeteria were just in big giant punch bowls, which is disgusting to think about. To just think about like several gallons of open air ketchup next to several gallons of open air mustard, and man, it's gnarly to think about. And it stayed like that for a while until somebody spiked the barbecue sauce with laxative, and truly ruined a day at the great Tates Creek High School. Truly ruined a day. Like, he would have caused less drama if he had just like brought a gun to school. You can't just make everyone poop at the same time. So that's the kind of psychology that you're working with high schoolers. High schoolers are kind of mean, High schoolers aren't the nicest group of people that have ever existed. So when teachers get together and try to think of good little things, sometimes it blows your mind that they forget that kids are, evil incarnate. So my buddy Taylor went to this high school, and they had a campaign like a lot of people did in the middle to late 20 teens. Stop the R word. Stop the R word. The R word was hateful. I think they had a pretty significant R word population at the school. And oh my God, I can't believe this happened. So they made everybody sign a brick, like a contract, to say, I'm not going to say the R word. Fair enough, Are they going to say it? Do I say it? I certainly do. Do I say it with malicious intent? No. Not towards someone who's actually R-worded, I would never do that. And listen, I get it. I just won't say it around him or whatever. Saying it with my buddies. Saying it in my head for sure. But malicious intent, definitely not. Can't do that. So what they thought up at Taylor's school was, we're going to put the R word, we're going to put the word retard up in about 10-foot letters in the cafeteria. Just think of a sign. Think about what the meanest kid in the school would do if he had the means to make this sign. And they did that. So they just put up the giant word, just said retard, in a high school cafeteria. And then people were supposed to take those bricks and cover up the word and be like, we're blocking it out. The R word's gone. Well, it's a high school. Of course they didn't do that. No one did that. No one did that. No one put their brick up on the wall, because for a week, the word retard was just on the side of the wall in big, huge letters, and no one would do it. And then here's what's horrible. Man, they asked one of the special needs kids to go up there and put a bunch of the bricks up and cover the word, and he just like did a border. So you could still just see it. And it never worked, and they ended up just having to tear it down. They just had to tear it down off the wall, because, God, that is just the perfect story of good intentions, bad outcome. But how did they think it was going to work? How did they think that the students of Taylor's High School were all going to rally together and be like, you know what? Instead of the funniest thing that's ever happened in the history of this school, we're just going to cover it up. How could they possibly have thought that? And that's why life is beautiful, man. Life is beautiful. This one felt pretty good. No, it's a little clunky, but hey, man, I do feel like I'm getting better at it. We've got, 4 or 5 of them? This is fun, man. We're really enjoying it. We're about to start bringing on some guests. So, yeah, dude, just keep supporting. And, the Absolute Lee Show, we're out. We're going to see you soon, baby. Take care.